All right. So the Buffalo Bills lost yesterday 27-10 to the Cincinnati Bengals, second year in a row that they've lost in the divisional round of the playoffs. And I'm sorry, I think it's about time we start asking some questions about whether it's appropriate for change in the Buffalo Bills. So, as we all know, Brian Dable left the Buffalo Bills this offseason and went to the New York Giants, and we've seen the success that they've had. And with a horrible receiving core, with Daniel Jones, with Saquon Barkley, who each have their own question marks, with a on paper all right defense, got to the same exact spot that the Buffalo Bills did this offseason or this postseason. The Buffalo Bills have clearly regressed on both sides of the ball. Sean McDermott is a defensive-minded coach. They could not get to Joe Burrow all day yesterday, despite the Cincinnati Bengals being down 3 of their starting offensive linemen, despite the Bengals not really being able to run the ball that much. They were not able to get a hold of Joe Burrow at all. Bengals do like to throw a lot of quick passes. I believe they're second in the league in terms of Joe Burrow's release time from the snap. So that's already something that's well into their offense. So they're kind of used to getting that ball out quickly. But they weren't able to get to him hardly at all. That is concerning. From a defensive-minded coach, the defensive side of the ball was not holding up its weight. But the offense wasn't either. And Josh Allen has certainly regressed. Josh Allen is a completely different quarterback from where he was with Brian Dable. He had 14 total turnovers this year, 12 interceptions, 2 fumbles. And if you look at his numbers, everyone remembers that rookie year. That rookie year where he was having a lot of turnovers. He turned the ball on average 1.17 times per ball game that rookie year. That everyone was so up in arms about, and that obviously was a problem, right? Well, flash forward to 2022, 1.2 turnovers per ball game. He's regressing. He's getting worse. He's turning the ball over more. And now they look more like a one-trick pony than this dominant team they look like coming into the season. They still can't run the ball. Sean McDermott has never established a running game outside of Josh Allen, throw your body at the other team. That's not efficient. That's not going to win you ball games when you come against stellar defensive lines. Oh, and then next thing you know, Josh Allen's 30 years old. Oh, now he has a hip injury. Now he has an ankle injury. Those things start to add up with the wear and tear that you're putting on his body today. Stephon Diggs, they couldn't find a way to scheme him open. Only, I think, 4 catches yesterday. He's throwing way too many passes to Isaiah McKenzie, to Gabe Davis. I mean, I'd be frustrated if I was Diggs too. You saw him on the sideline towards the end of the game where he's shrugging his shoulders, asking, what's up? Like, why am I not getting the football? I think it's a serious conversation that needs to be had in the Buffalo Bills organization as to whether Sean McDermott is right as the head coach going forward. It's easy to criticize a man when he's down. It's easy to look at them after their loss and just point the finger and laugh at them. But where is his team going? They got to the conference championship a few years ago. Cool. They obviously lost. Last year, divisional round, couldn't get past Patrick Mahomes. Gabe Davis had his best game as a pro. And then this year, same rounds, but they got embarrassed. So they were holding on. It was close last year, lost in overtime. Chiefs got the ball first. Year before that, conference championship, good game. And now they got blown out at home against a Bengals team that can't run the ball, that has a all right defense, pretty good defense, but not top 10 defense. They can't run the ball, and they couldn't protect Joe Burrow if he held onto the ball for more than 3.5 seconds. What do you provide as a head coach then? This is a offensive league. This is primarily a passing league. Your quarterback's regressing. We saw those open throws he was missing. He missed multiple against Miami. I'll bring up Miami again in a second. He missed multiple open throws against Miami. He missed a possible touchdown to Diggs there. I think that was the first drive of the game where Diggs is running down the sideline. He just overthrows him. He's overthrowing passes on a regular basis now. That's very, very concerning. Your quarterback's regressing. And speaking of Miami, Sean McDermott has gotten out-coached twice now in Buffalo by a Miami Dolphins team by Mike McDaniel, who certainly had the worst quarterback each of the 2 times. If you like Tua, if you're a Tua believer, okay, cool. Ain't nobody arguing Tua is better than Josh Allen. Nobody. And certainly not even close, Skylar Thompson and Josh Allen. And Skylar Thompson, with 30-plus incompletions, only lost by 3. They only lost because they couldn't figure out what the play clock was. That 4th and 1, if they convert it and go down the score, Buffalo possibly loses to Miami in the playoffs with a backup quarterback, with 4 starters in the secondary out, with a beat-up offensive line, with your 2-star receivers having some sort of injury coming into the game. You only beat them by 3. And the Bengals team that, again, can't run the ball, that can't protect Joe Burrow, has an all right defense on the other side, has Eli Apple on the other side. You get blown out at home in the playoffs. The weather was in your favor. Now, Cincinnati, I'm sure, is used to the cold as well, but what happened to the snow? The winter is coming. Snow is on our side. There's opportunity right now for these teams to go out, these teams looking for head coaches to go out and get one of the best coaches in the league, obviously being Sean Payton. And if you're the Buffalo Bills, you have such a talented roster. You have an incredible defense on one side. You keep drafting first-round defensive talent year in, year out, even though the running game still sucks, even though Josh Allen needs a second wide receiver alongside of Diggs. You keep drafting defense, and the defense is getting worse. You're as healthy last night and at the end run of the season on defense as you really have been all season long. Now, they did lose multiple secondary starters yesterday. Obviously, that adds into it. But they could not get pressure on Joe Burrow. The defensive line wasn't beating their assignments. And it's time for concern for Buffalo Bills fans. Do you trust Sean McDermott? I really like Sean McDermott as a coach. Coming into that game, coming into the season, I thought Sean McDermott was certainly a top 10 coach, possibly top 5 coach. And now he's slowly working his way down the head coaching rankings because these failures he keeps showing. Josh Allen is regressing, has had his worst turnover year of his career, 1.2 turnovers per season. He is regressing. A defensive-minded head coach in an offensive-minded league, a defense that is also regressing, a run game that has never been developed, and a team that continues to choke in the playoffs. Why wouldn't the Buffalo Bills move off of Sean McDermott?